I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw.
The one and only Iron Mike Tyson!
Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. Big Time Boxing takes a look through his career with all the biggest and best highlights and the most devastating knockouts. Mike Tyson made his pro debut at age 18 in March 1985. The fight didn't last long, with Tyson overwhelming Hector Mercedes with a barrage of punches, leaving him unable to continue. Tyson would be back in the ring again the following month against Trent Singleton, and it was another first round finish with some devastating hooks and uppercuts, forcing the ref to step in. Tyson would continue to be extremely active in the first year of his pro career, sometimes fighting 3 times in a month. The boxing world was really starting to get excited at this young prospect. Tyson and his team had a goal. This was to become the youngest ever heavyweight champion of the world. Keeping Tyson active and concentrating on his career was crucial to this. Many of these opponents tried to jab and move with Tyson, but he would use his incredible foot speed and movement to get close before unleashing his ferocious power. Tyson had now had a year as a pro, with an incredible 18 fights under his belt. 12 of these fights ended with a knockout in the first round. Tyson would go the distance for the first time in his career against James "Quick" TILLIS and again against Mitch Green. This would be great experience for Tyson and also show that he could tough it out over a longer fight. Tyson would next take on Joe Frazier's son, Marvis Frazier. Tyson was at his ruthless best and destroyed Frazier in only 30 seconds. Tyson had an aura of being unbeatable, and this would often intimidate his opponents before the fight had even started. Tyson was now within touching distance of a shot at the title. Another ferocious knockout meant his dream was close to becoming a reality.
He will have a shot, it appears, at the heavyweight title. The undefeated heavyweight has signed to fight in the HBO title unification series, and he'll face Trevor Berbick, the WBC title holder, probably sometime this fall. And if Tyson should beat Berbick, he would become the youngest man in history ever to win the heavyweight championship.
Now was Tyson's chance to go down in history. WBC champion Trevor Berbick was the man in his way.
He is undefeated in his professional career with 27 wins, no defeats, 25 KOs. He is the challenger, Mike Tyson. His professional record consists of 31 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, and 23 KOs. He is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Trevor Berbick.
Tyson showed no fear and really took it to the taller Berbick with some lovely combinations.
Clips him with the left hand. Look at this combination, and Berbick ready to go, but he stays on his feet. Another right hand clips him. He can't take shots like this very long. Wow, with the right hand is money. Again he's gone. Catches him with a foot. Trevor's ready to go again.
Tyson almost ended it in the first with some lovely left and right hooks, but Berbick managed to get through the round.
Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he gets Trevor in trouble, and he's down. He'll have to take the standing 8 count.
The end was near for Berbick once Tyson caught him with a stinging left hook.
Bangs the body. Wow, with that uppercut is Tyson. Catches him with a right left hook, and he goes down. He goes down. He should be able to get up from this. His legs may be shut. They are. As Trevor Berbick falls back in the ropes, I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He's got the heart, but his body won't let him do what his mind wants to. And he's counted out. It'll be scored as a knockout.
Tyson had achieved his and his team's dream of becoming the youngest ever heavyweight champion.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mills Lane stops the bout at 2 minutes, 35 seconds of the second round. The winner by a TKO and youngest and new WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Tyson.
Tyson's first title defence came against James Bone Crusher Smith. Tyson found it frustrating against Smith, with his opponent offering little offence and holding Tyson often. Tyson won a majority decision and was highly critical of Smith's tactics. Next for Tyson was Pinkland Thomas. Another tough fight, but Tyson wore Thomas down before a nasty combination ended the fight. Tyson's next fight was to become the new undisputed champ. He would face Tony Tucker, and it would be his most challenging fight to date. Tucker caused Tyson a few problems, but Tyson managed to navigate past him with the points win. Tyson was now the undisputed heavyweight champion, and his next opponent was the 1984 Olympic gold medalist, Tyrell Biggs. Biggs was able to keep Tyson at bay with his jab in the early rounds, before Tyson caught him with a thunderous left hook. Biggs managed to make it to his feet, but Tyson moved in to finish the fight off.
Larry Holmes, the former champion. And Larry, let me ask you first of all the obvious. Is there a deal for you to fight Mike Tyson?
Yes, it's a deal. There are a few things that we have to work out yet, but it's a deal. You know, I'm ready to go in there with Mike sometime in January, whatever day they want.
The legendary Larry Holmes felt he could dethrone the fearsome Tyson, but the aging Holmes was no match for Tyson in his prime, and the fight ended in round 4.
He's going to hang on, or he'll stop the fight. Down he goes.
Tyson would travel to Japan for his next fight, with Tony Tubbs the challenger. Tubbs came into the fight out of shape, and it wasn't long before Tyson caught Tubbs with one of his trademark left hooks, ending the fight in round 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the official time. 2 minutes, 54 seconds of the second round. The winner by knockout victory. Now 34 consecutive victories. Still the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Tyson would finally face Michael Spinks in a long-awaited fight. The build-up was huge, with both fighters being undefeated.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, once and for all, let's get ready to rumble. 12 rounds for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
The fight definitely didn't disappoint, with Tyson blasting Spinks out in 91 seconds.
Nothing really heavy landing yet, but he's taking them. The uppercut, body shot, down goes Mike Spinks for the first time. The count is up to 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Here comes Mike Spinks in. He leads to the right hand. Down he goes. I don't think he'll get up from this. Mike Spinks is laying flat on his back. The count is up to 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. He won't be able to do it. It's all over. Mike Tyson has won it. And now the question is, who in this world has any chance against this man? Frank Bruno has to be totally intimidated. Look at the leg quivering there.
Frank Bruno was next in line to try to stop Tyson in his tracks. Bruno was a polished fighter and had a big punch on him, but needed to control his nerves. The fight got off to a fast start, with the two men exchanging punches in the middle of the ring as soon as the round started. Tyson landed with the right hook, sending Bruno down. Bruno managed to make it to his feet and even rocked Tyson for the first time in his career. As round 5 came to its end, Tyson had Bruno on the ropes and unleashed a lethal combination, forcing the ref to step in. Tyson would face Carl Williams next. Williams put up little defence, and Tyson knocked Williams down with his trademark left hook. Williams was able to get back up to his feet, but the ref controversially waved off the fight. James Buster Douglas. This fight would go down as the biggest upset of all time. Tyson had barely trained and was even knocked down in sparring, and his mind was not on the fight.
Please welcome the challenger, James Buster Douglas. Introducing the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the one and only Iron Mike Tyson.
Douglas showed no fear for Tyson and was using his jab and movement, while Tyson looked a shadow of himself.
Oh, big right hand landed that time. Buster's, if 2, 3, or 4 is a question mark, he's winning the 5th round handily.
Even Tyson's cornermen were having an off night, with forgetting the end swell and ice pack. Tyson was head hunting and managed to connect with a huge uppercut to knock Douglas down.
For that all night. Oh, there's a nice uppercut that time that drops Buster Douglas. The count's up to 2 and 3 and 4. His eyes from where I'm sitting look fairly clear. It's up to 7 and 8. And here it is at 9. Is he going to get up? Yes, he does. All right.
Douglas just managed to beat the count, and in round 9 launched an attack on the fading Tyson.
We're past the midway point in round 9, and I expected Mike. Look at this. Look at Buster coming back. Did he buckle the legs of Mike? I don't know. He got him again. Buster fights back strongly, landing some big shots.
Tyson survived Buster Douglas's attack to make it to round 10, before Tyson was caught with a devastating onslaught to end the fight.
Landing these, oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked Mike and he's not gonna make it. Unbelievable.
Buster Douglas had shocked the world by beating the seemingly unbeatable Mike Tyson. The 42-1 underdog dedicated his win to his mother, who passed away 23 days before the fight. Following the fight, Tyson said he wanted an immediate rematch. Unfortunately, no rematch clause was inserted into the contract. With Buster Douglas deciding to take on Evander Holyfield, Tyson had to fight his way back to a title shot. He was back to his best though, with 2 destructive wins over Henry TILLMAN and then Alex Stewart. Tyson would have to take on the talented Donovan Razor Ruddock. The fight was a hard fought one, with both men hitting each other with power punches throughout the fight. Tyson caught Ruddock with a big left in the second round to put him on the canvas. Ruddock managed to get up before Tyson unleashed a powerful combination which prompted the ref to halt the fight. This was a controversial stoppage and there was demand for a rematch. The rematch would take place 3 months later. The fight would be scrappy, with the referee Mills Lane warning both fighters on their conduct. Tyson connected with an overhand right, but Ruddock managed to get back to his feet. With both fighters trading leather, it was Tyson who managed to get the win via unanimous points decision. After Tyson's 4-year absence from boxing due to prison, the boxing world was clamouring for his return. His first fight on his return was against Hurricane Peter McNeely.
Please welcome the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, tonight making his return to the ring, and he is back, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one, the only Mike Tyson.
Any protect yourself at all times. I expect a tough, clean fight. Any questions from McNeely's corner? Any questions from Mr. Tyson's corner? Let's get it on!
McNeely came out charging at Tyson, but Tyson landed flush with a right hook to floor McNeely. McNeely bounced straight back up before Tyson caught him again, which prompted McNeely's cornerman to jump in to end the fight.
Tyson with a left hook, a right hook, and down goes McNeely again. McNeely's hurt this time, Steve. He's very hurt.
Tyson's next fight on his comeback trail was Buster Mathis Jr. Tyson started slowly in this fight, but threw 2 right hands which put Mathis down on the canvas, and he was unable to beat the count. Tyson had earned himself a shot at the title. Standing between him and glory was Frank Bruno. Bruno had beaten Oliver McCall to finally win the World Championship the year before. The rematch was now on.
Now you've already had your instruction. This is for the championship of the world. I expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions, Mr. Tyson? Mr. Bruno, let's get it on!
Tyson came out extremely aggressively. Bruno was trying to slow Tyson down, but in the third round it was Tyson who came out on top again, catching Bruno with a barrage of punches, ending the fight.
Expected. He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought Brazilian Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno into the ropes. Is champion again.
Bruce Seldon was the first opponent in Tyson's second title reign. The bout didn't last long, with Tyson knocking Seldon out in the first round. Tyson would now finally take on Evander Holyfield. Tyson's camp felt Holyfield was washed up, but Holyfield had other ideas. Tyson came out strong, trying to put the pressure on Holyfield, hoping he would fall. But Holyfield had a game plan to put Tyson on the back foot, which would eliminate his power.
Unleashing uppercuts to the body, digging to the chin. It startled Holyfield, it sends him back a bit. Right to the body.
Tyson and Holyfield clashed heads multiple times. Unfortunately, one of these caused a cut to Tyson's eye. Holyfield was starting to take over and caught Tyson with a lovely shot to the body. With both fighters putting it all on the line, it was Holyfield who put together an onslaught which almost finished the fight.
He's going for it. Oh, Tyson's in trouble. Holyfield smothers Tyson. Looking to put Tyson down and end the fight. Tyson in big trouble.
Tyson was out on his feet. It just needed one last push by Holyfield to put an end to the contest.
He's got Tyson in trouble. Tyson's ready to go. A straight right hand. The chopper stops the fight, and Holyfield has won. I can't believe what I'm seeing. It's the most unbelievable thing I've ever been privileged to witness.
The rematch was on. A fast start from both fighters. Unfortunately, another clash of heads resulted in a cut above Tyson's eye again, which enraged Iron Mike.
Evander just kind of dives. There it is, right there. Puts his head down and comes straight in and hits Mike right in the corner of his right eye.
An angered Mike Tyson retaliates, resulting in disqualification.
What happened here?
He bit his ear. I can see the bite mark.
He bit his ear. He's out. Telling Mark.
Upon Tyson's return would be Franz Botha. Botha would outbox a rusty Tyson for the opening rounds of the contest, which frustrated Tyson. Tyson managed to land flush with a short right hand late in the 5th round. Former cruiserweight champion Ollie Norris was next for Tyson. Tyson came out as the aggressor, with Norris trying to keep his distance. As the first round was coming to an end, they got into a clinch. Just after the bell rang, Tyson landed a shot to Norris, which caused him to go down and land awkwardly. Norris felt he was unable to continue, and the fight was ruled a no contest. Tyson would now travel to the UK for his next 2 fights, his first opponent being Julius Francis. This was a complete mismatch, with Tyson knocking Francis down 5 times before the ref stopped the contest. Tyson would next face Lou Savarese in Scotland. Tyson would catch Savarese with a lunging left hook. Savarese managed to make it to his feet, but Tyson gave no let up and overwhelmed him before the ref stepped in. Tyson was highly pumped up though and tried to carry on fighting even though the fight had ended.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from their cloth.
The temperamental Andrew Golota was next for Tyson. Golota was a skilled fighter, but Tyson came out with nice movement and plenty of aggression. Tyson then landed with a huge overhand right, sending Golota to the canvas. To Golota's credit, he was able to get straight back up. The following round, both fighters exchanged punches, and the fight was developing into an entertaining bout. But Golota had had enough and refused to go out for round 3, much to his corner's dismay. Tyson travelled to Denmark to take on the experienced veteran Brian Nielsen. Nielsen would offer little offence and wasn't a difficult target for Tyson, who started the fight in his usual fast pace, trying to get Nielsen out of there quick. A flurry of hooks was enough to send Nielsen down, but not out for the count. Nielsen managed to make it to the end of round 6 before retiring in his corner. Next was the fight that had been in the making for years. In June 2002, Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson were finally going to lock horns in Memphis. Even though Tyson had been on the decline for a while now, there was still the possibility that he could catch Lewis with one of his thunderous strikes.
So now there's only one thing left to say. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Tyson came out trying to catch Lewis early, but walked onto Lewis's uppercuts, which rocked Tyson.
Tyson attacking Lewis, and Lewis comes right back with 3 uppercuts.
After a close first round, Lewis started to settle into his rhythm and took control of the fight with his jab and overhand rights.
Instructions. Lewis with a big right uppercut.
Tyson was starting to get demoralised as the fight went on. Lewis was in complete control, but was wary of Tyson catching him. In round 7, Lewis let loose with a left uppercut, which put Tyson down momentarily. Once the fight resumed, it wasn't long before Lewis caught Tyson with a huge right hand to end the fight.
You can't take that from him. Right hand from Lewis, and Tyson goes down for the 3rd time in his career.
After all the bad blood between the fighters, it was nice to see them embrace at the end of the fight. Tyson's career was drawing to a close, but he still had a few fights left in him. He would take on ETIENNE next, taking just 49 seconds to end the fight. Tyson's penultimate fight of his pro career would be against the plucky British heavyweight, Danny Williams. Tyson started well and managed to rock Williams with a heavy left uppercut, but Williams weathered the storm. As round 1 came to an end, Tyson's knee buckled. He bravely carried on trying to finish the fight with a damaged leg. Tyson was looking for that one haymaker to end the fight, but would find it difficult to find the leverage. Williams knew that Tyson wasn't mobile anymore and unleashed a continuous barrage of punches, knocking Tyson down and onto the ropes. Tyson's final fight as a pro would be in June 2005 against Irish journeyman Kevin McBride. Tyson looked sluggish throughout the fight. McBride was trying to use his size to tire Tyson. Tyson tried to let some shots go, but his speed had gone. Tyson's corner had seen enough and knew he was done. Doing the right thing, they pulled him from the fight.
That's enough, yes. That's it. Enough.
And I realized I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore. I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore. No, I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my appearance. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Does that mean we won't see you fight again?
Yeah, that's most likely. I'm not going to fight again.
Thanks for watching this look into Iron Mike's pro career, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.